Well, Doug Peterson was looking to spark his offense, and a complete team win is what the Eagles got today. An upset over the Saints, snapping a 9-game win streak for New Orleans and snapping a losing streak for the Eagles. A very exciting game indeed. Thanks for joining us here on the Postgame Show, presented by Ricoh. I'm Amy Campbell alongside Fran Duffy and Ike Reese, as always, here to break it all down for you and hear from coach and players live in a little bit. But first, Ike, I will start with you. A complete team win here. Offense getting it done, defense responding with some takeaways, offense putting the ball in the end zone. What did you take away from this one?
Well, it certainly was all hands on deck for this game. You know, you got the New Orleans Saints coming in, best team in the NFC through 12 weeks. You were going to need a total team effort in order to win this game. And that's what they were able to do today, both offensively, defensively, and even through their special teams. They all contributed, and all three phases were needed to win this game. Certainly a lot of energy played in this game. They knew that the doubts were out there as to whether or not they could win this game against the New Orleans Saints. Typical fashion, you rally around the backup quarterback who's going to need the supporting cast to come in and do their job to sort of lessen the burden on him. And that's what they were able to do today for Jalen Hurts. Nice game plan being called from Doug Peterson. Great job by the offense executing it. But the main thing that stood out to me today, Amy and Fran, was how this defense was able to come in and play today, create some turnovers, but more importantly, really keep down the big plays from that Saints offense and allow this Eagles offense to really methodically wear down the Saints defense. And that's what you saw today. Not a ton of big plays from the Eagles offense, but an efficient Eagles offense where they didn't turn the ball over until late in the game, and they took advantage of the opportunities when they presented themselves. Really a nice job from this entire team today.
We'll just see in the highlights there the Josh Sweat strip sack, the Duke Riley interception, the two takeaways for this Eagles defense. Takeaways being something that the Eagles defense has struggled to get this season. They win the turnover battle today. They win the game. Fran, let me come to you with let's talk a little bit about the offensive game plan. The Saints had statistically the best defense coming into this one, dominant in all phases on defense, and the Eagles are able to put together a game plan where they have two 100-yard rushers here. Miles Sanders rushing for 115 yards, Jalen Hurts for 106. It had been 55 games since the Saints had allowed a 100-yard rusher. The Eagles get two today.
Yeah, we talked about it in the kickoff show, right? That it had been since the Eagles' Super Bowl year of 2017 that the New Orleans Saints had allowed a 100-yard rusher. As you mentioned, the Eagles get two today. Look, overall, just kind of looking at my notes at halftime and then looking at it just as the game ended, there were a lot of just dink and dunk, and it's not a bad way, but gains of 6 yards, 8 yards, 9 yards, 7 yards, 4 yards. Not a lot of minuses there, right? They just did a good job staying ahead of the sticks in this game, and whether that was through the run game, and the quarterback was a big part of that, which was good to see. I cannot wait to watch the film tomorrow morning and really get a sense of what they did to get Jalen Hurts involved in the run game, but then also just doing what he's accustomed to doing. They ran a lot of RPOs in this game, a lot of run-pass options. That created some easy throws. We saw some of the quick game concepts that the Eagles have used over the years. We haven't seen them as much this year, and they busted them out in this game. That 40-yard catch and run by Jalen Reagor, I mean, they ran that play like 15 times in the Super Bowl, guys, to help beat the Patriots back in 2017. So, you look at that play, and to me, that's just like an encapsulation of what the mindset was coming into this game. Quick, easy throws, make things well-defined for the rookie quarterback making his first start against this defense. He only ended up throwing for 167 yards. He threw the one touchdown. He had one pass at least that was almost picked off, but I thought overall he did a nice job of keeping them on schedule. He made good decisions for the most part. He threw the ball out of bounds when needed. Didn't take a lot of negative plays, as you see here. You see him taking off and using his legs. That was a little bit of an X factor in this game in terms of keeping the Eagles on the field. They were not great on third down, but again, staying ahead of the sticks. Even though they missed on a bunch of third down opportunities, they were able to convert on some other fourth down opportunities, right? So ultimately, I think you see that this offense was able to operate efficiently. It was not explosive, but they did a nice job of chipping away at the Saints defense, exactly what Ike said earlier.
Hurts has 2 passing touchdowns in his NFL career, both coming on 4th down. You mentioned the stat line for him, completing 17 passes of 30 attempts, so 56, 57%, right around there, which is okay, but you talk about that efficiency, right? Not trying to do too much. 1 touchdown passing, and then on the ground, of course, 106 yards rushing on 18 attempts, really getting things done with his legs. All right, let's bring in Eagles insider Dave Spadaro from Lincoln Financial Field. Dave, we're talking about the rookie in his starting debut against the top defense in the NFL. The Eagles get the win, but really complete win on all sides here, all phases contributing, big plays on both sides of the ball. What did you take away from this one?
Everything that Fran and Ike said. Also, just every play in the second half, it seemed like a defensive player was going down. The Eagles losing Avonte Maddox, Rodney McLeod, Darius Slay. They held on. So impressed with Jalen Hurts under pressure. The Saints dialed up the pressure in the second half, and he responded. The way the Eagles seized back momentum after that Josh Sweat strip sack in the 4th quarter there, I mean, that's something that they have not done all year. We're all sitting there going, wow, what a great first half, what a great first half. And then Jake Elliott clunks the easy field goal off the left upright, and you go, uh-oh, this is the same thing that happened in Washington. This is the same thing that's happened all year. And it looked that way as the Saints took momentum in the 3rd quarter. But to get it back, to get the football back, and then to score a touchdown, a little razzle-dazzle to get inside the 10-yard, to get to the 11-yard line, and then to work your way into it. A penalty backs you up, 1st and goal at the 6. Eagles haven't run the football effectively in the red zone all year, and they did that today. And the element of Jalen Hurts and the run, it just shows you why Russell Wilson drives the Eagles crazy, why these mobile quarterbacks are so difficult to stop. He's got to stop taking hits, no doubt about it, something that Wilson does very well. But the element of his legs really threw a wrench into the New Orleans Saints defensive game plan. I loved it. Hey, Alshon Jeffrey, who fans out there don't even want to see on the field, back shoulder catch, create some separation. Nice job. Touchdown, Eagles. I loved it today. Great energy on the Eagles sideline today. They believed in Hurts, and he responded with such a calm way about him. Didn't throw an interception. Was in trouble a couple of times, backed off, threw the ball away. Loved it. Great first start for Jalen Hurts. Hey, the Eagles beat a 10-2 team with a 9-game win streak. I mean, you go into the game in Arizona, you believe the Eagles can win that football game. All of a sudden, it gets a little bit interesting here in the NFC East. But just a terrific win, a nail-biter. I loved it. It was so much fun, something different. We've been just treated to something today that we haven't seen really all year, a game where the Eagles played it out for 60 minutes. It took 60 minutes, and a terrific win.
Dave, since we're not able to be there in the stadium and all of our viewers are not there in the stadium, kind of take us through what was the atmosphere like for the guys on the sideline? Just kind of take us through the roller coaster of the game, because obviously it went from 2-score lead to very, very tight there at the end. What was it like from your vantage point?
Yeah, a lot of trash talking early on. Malcolm Jenkins leading the way. And so for Malcolm to miss the tackle on the Miles Sanders 82-yard touchdown run was sweet, and he heard it from the Eagles sideline, and there was a lot of back and forth. And look, I mean, the Eagles felt all along here, we've talked about the word has been spark and energy and backing your teammates, and I really felt that today from the Eagles sidelines. The fans, they were a little bit stiff. They have to liven up a little bit here. But for the most part, you know, the Eagles generating, for the first time at home, their own energy. And that's what's been missing here. And that's the difficult part when you don't have fans. I can speak to this. When you don't have fans, it feels like a scrimmage. And the Eagles just in past home games have not brought that oomph, that energy, that zest. Today they brought it. They backed Jalen Hurts, and he played terrific football. So it was a cool atmosphere from the sideline to sideline perspective. And certainly in the box where I was watching the game with a couple of other Eagles workers, we were whooping it up. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah, David, I'm sure not only for you, for a lot of us as Eagles fans, it's been a tough season. It's been a tough past 4 weeks coming off that bye week and the Eagles not having a win since prior to the bye week. I'm wondering from your viewpoint and watching what you saw today, is this sustainable? Is this something, is it more than just, you know, a blip in the schedule? Saints winning 9 games in a row. It's tough to win 10 games in a row. The Eagles certainly are a better team than would be losing 5 games in a row. Is this something that's sustainable that you can carry on to the next week as Jalen Hurts as your quarterback, and more importantly, the way the defense played today. I thought the defense had an outstanding performance today, which really helped out the offense.
With a pass rush, a four-man pass rush, they had 5 sacks on Taysom Hill. Josh Sweat with 2 came up absolutely
huge. All right,
huge.
Dave, actually, I hate to interrupt you, but Miles Sanders is at the podium right now, so we're going to listen to Miles Sanders.
Hey, Miles. Thanks for taking the time. We'll get started here with Dave Zangaro and John McMullen.
Hey, Miles. Sorry about that. Jalen Hurts' first start. What'd you think of him?
He played awesome, man. The tape shows for itself. He's so confident, and so like he's a natural leader, and we just needed that. He gave us that spark starting from last week, but. Man, y'all seen it all. I think we played a total of 4 quarters today, and I think we look like a complete team. Minus the penalties, we got to clean that up, but overall, I think this whole team did a hell of a job.
We'll go John and then Kristen Rogers.
Hey, Miles. Obviously, the big run, 82 yards. Kind of take us through that, and how much did Jalen's presence open up things for you throughout the afternoon?
Opened up a lot of stuff, from the first play to the last. They had to respect him and his legs, and he's been doing a great job just reading the DN and reading his keys to either pull it or take it. But that was a regular inside zone. They've been playing over the top the whole time, letting the linebackers hit certain gaps. But I think the front side linebacker hit the wrong gap, and I just took it out the front, and Zach had a hell of a block, made one guy missing. To the house I go.
Kristen and then Bo.
Hey, Miles, it seems like you guys were able to settle in a little bit more early in this game. Obviously, it helps when you guys are playing with a lead. Did you feel like there was a different energy today for this offense?
Absolutely. It's similar from last year. We're down to these last 4 games, and only thing we control is really win every game, but starting just week by week. We wanted to go 1-0 this week, and we did that against the number 1 defense in the National Football League and the number 1 team in the NFC. So, just taking it one more week at a time, getting ready for Arizona, and then just keep this thing rolling.
Bo and then Tim McManus.
Miles, when you say that Jalen is a natural leader, what do you mean by that?
Just encouraging everybody, talking to us in the huddle, constantly talking to us, just giving us confidence, same stuff that Carson does. Same stuff.
Tim and then Martin.
Hey, Miles, what did Doug Peterson have to say to you guys after this win?
He said, man, it feels good to win, huh? And it sure does. But right now, we really got to stay locked in. We can't get too excited. Like I said, we're just trying to be 1-0 each week. And starting with Arizona, we just got to get ready for them.
Martin and then Paul Domowitch.
Hey, Miles, did you kind of get a sense, like, right off the bat that you guys would be able to run on these guys? Was that kind of like the game plan coming in, especially with Jalen at quarterback?
Well, our game plan was pretty dynamic and simple because Jalen was in there, first start as a rookie quarterback. But, like I said, it's tough to stop when you got a quarterback that can run efficiently. Like I think he had over 100 yards probably, and we were betting to see who would get 100 yards, but it's hard to stop that when you got a room full of running backs that can run the ball and a quarterback that can run the ball efficiently too.
Damo and then Ed Benkin.
Yeah, Miles, you guys mixed 11 and 12 personnel today, but I think both of your touchdowns came with 11 personnel. Getting them into their nickel help you guys as far as being able to run the ball?
Absolutely. We know they like to really bring a lot of blitz zeros and solve blitzes when we're in the red zone too. So, or a critical situation on third down. So we just capitalized on it.
Ed and then Jamie.
Hi, Miles. Could you just get the sense of the threat of what Jalen could do as far as being able to run, really kind of keeping them off balance a little bit, not only having to respect his running ability, but maybe free things up for you a little bit doing that?
Yeah, like I said, absolutely. It's hard to stop a read option or whatever it is, play fake, whatever it is, when you got a guy like Jalen that can extend the play with his legs, and if there's nothing there, even take off and get a first down. So that's pretty hard to stop, and just got to keep this thing rolling. I'm excited. I'm excited.
We have time for one more, so we'll end it here with Jamie.
Hey, Miles, what was it like with Carson out there not commanding the huddle? We saw him, on the field cheering you guys on. What was his demeanor like today?
It was good. It was good, positive, nothing negative, as I would expect that from him. But, I still got his back, man. I'm talking to him. He's talking to us, giving us feedback as if he was playing. So he's not tuned out the game or nothing. He's still locked in, giving us pointers and stuff like that. So everything's cool.
Thanks, Miles.
All right. Yeah, big W.
Big smiles there from Miles Sanders after this Eagles win. All right, let's go back to the show. And far be it from me to ever interrupt the Eagles Insider, only for Miles Sanders after a 2-touchdown performance. But Ike, I know you were asking Dave a question, so let's just take it from there.
Well, it certainly has a lot to do with what the Miles Sanders was able to do today. And Dave, I'm just wondering if the game plan and what the Eagles were able to do offensively, do you see that as a formula, as a sustainable formula moving forward next week and the week after that? Certainly seemed like there was a lot more emphasis on the run game today and certainly moving the quarterback around in the pocket. I'm just wondering from your viewpoint, you think that's a formula for success moving forward?
Ike, I do. And first I want to say this. Did you see how excited Miles Sanders was? I mean, that right there, when people talk about the energy and the spark, that's what everybody's talking about. This team feels it from Jalen Hurts. And so is it sustainable? Look, I mean, teams are going to adjust. The Eagles are going to have to counter move. That's what the NFL is all about. It's about move and counter move and making adjustments. And certainly the teams are going to look to stymie what Jalen does outside the pocket. So Doug and his coaching staff will have to counter that. So I do think it's sustainable. I do think that Jalen will improve his game. I think the Eagles will improve their offensive game as they get to know him. I don't know if there's an official, is he starting next week, but I don't know how you take Jalen Hurts out of the lineup after a win like that. So you build upon this, you expand upon this, and you find ways to make it work because defenses will take something away. Hassan Reddick had 5 sacks today for the Arizona Cardinals. The Eagles are going to see that and say, we got to take that away, so the Cardinals will have to counter move. But everything that a defense takes away, you have to have an answer for to add. So I do think it's sustainable as long as Jalen stays out of trouble by getting hit. I don't want to see him get hit. That part of it is not sustainable. Jalen Hurts cannot take hits. He's got to get down. And if you say, he'll learn how to do that, well, that's not necessarily the case because we kept saying for years and years that Carson would learn how to slide, Carson would learn how to throw the ball away. He's still learning to do that. So it takes time to do all that stuff. But yes, I do think that the offense is sustainable because it's another element, a different element to contend with in this offense.
Well, Dave, you mentioned the idea of the 5 sacks from Hassan Reddick, and the Eagles, believe for the first time this season, did not take a sack. Jalen Hurts not sacked here today. But we take this from like a macro discussion. I want to make this kind of like granular and focus in on one player on the defensive side of the ball. Josh Sweat, 2 sacks today. I'm interested to kind of get your thoughts on what you've heard behind the scenes on Josh Sweat, how you've kind of viewed his development, because just watching the 3-year career arc, that redshirt year, that first year when he didn't play, kind of a role player, and he's really coming to his own. I believe he's up to 6 sacks now on the season. What have you seen from Josh Sweat? What are you hearing about Josh Sweat behind the scenes?
Well, let me just say, I hope, keep my fingers crossed here, he walked off the field holding his shoulder. I hope he's okay. That's always a concern. But Josh Sweat, a 5-star recruit coming out of high school, Florida State, injured that knee. He's been dragging that knee around for the first year for sure. Came on last year, really learned technique, got healthy. And this year you just see, Fran, so much more burst in him. The way he closed on Taysom Hill for that second sack was a thing of beauty. I mean, he really closed the gap. He's playing with more power. Is he a starting level NFL defensive end? Probably at some point. He's got to get a little bit stronger, got to stay healthy. But certainly has come up big. And understand this, in Jim Schwartz's scheme here, and today he had to do it with so many injuries in the secondary, they rely on 4-man pass rush the whole time. And today, against a really good offensive line, they dominated Fletcher Cox and Javon Hargrave, who has played extremely well the last several weeks as he's understood the system. You know, listening to Malik Jackson this week talking about when you come from another system where it's you have to read and then you go to a system where you just go, it does take quite a bit of time to learn. So I think for Javon, who missed all of training camp, who was banged up early in the season, it's taken him some time to understand exactly how to play in this scheme. But we're seeing a dominant performance from that defensive tackle right now. And for Josh Sweat, look, he's getting better and better, Fran, and he's a really key part of this defensive end rotation. And today, he was one of the saviors for that defense that, again, no Avonte Maddox, no Darius Slay, no Rodney McLeod. We don't know their status moving forward. But against a team that has Michael Thomas and Emmanuel Sanders and Jared Cook, they are big-time pass catchers, big playmakers. And whether you like Taysom Hill or not, he delivered in 3 straight wins for the New Orleans Saints until today. Eagles did a great job winning up front with Josh Sweat leading the way.
Yeah, a huge momentum changer there, that strip sack by Josh Sweat. I felt like that just really changed everything for the Eagles there in the fourth quarter. All right, Dave, thank you so much for your time. And we are now going to transition to Coach Peterson, who is at the podium after this win.
Hey, Coach, thanks for taking the time. We'll get started here with Rob Motti and then Mike Kay.
Hey, Doug, what did you think of Jalen's overall performance, and why do you think he was able to get the whole team start to finish to play better? And are you ready to commit to him for next week yet?
You know, we went into this week, you know, there's been a lot of stuff's been piled on this football team all season, negatively, positively, a lot of injuries. You know, different things have really piled up, and you know, sometimes you look for an opportunity to just sort of jumpstart things, right? Kind of almost reset a little bit, and you know, you do things, and obviously Jalen got the start tonight or this afternoon, and you know, I thought overall there were some good things, and really kind of gave us a spark as a team that I was looking for, and I think we were looking for as a team. But you know, this win today is not about one guy. This win is about this team and how resilient this team is. And you know, we went through it again today. Injuries, you know, and piled up a little bit in the second half, and guys stayed strong. He obviously was a part of the win, but you know, my hat's off to a lot of guys, you know, in this football game. Defense, I thought, played outstanding. You know, with the 2 takeaways, you know, Sweat, Hargrave. I mean, guys are battling their tails off, and you know, offensive line against you know, this is the #1 defense in the National Football League, and you know, they did a nice job. They did a really nice job against that front, and you know, my hat's off to really every member of this team.
Mike and then Tim McManus.
Doug, how do you think the overall offense executed to this game plan that you guys had this week?
Well, you know, bottom line is you try to win the game, and you know, we were successful there, and I thought that you know, there was some good, there was some bad, but I thought they executed the game plan pretty well. You know, again, with what we asked them to do.
Tim and then Jeff McLean.
Doug, we saw some, you know, principal tenets of your offense really on display, I think, tonight. You know, there's some of the mesh concepts, the RPOs, getting your quarterback out onto the move. Can you help us explain why there was more of that in this game than maybe we have seen when Carson was under center?
Well, I mean, don't misunderstand kind of what you're seeing, and a lot of it was, you know, QB scrambles too. You know, so they weren't necessarily designed you know, rollouts, but you know, it's just part of the, I guess, part of the game plan, you know, to be able to get and really the defense too. I mean, you got to consider the defense and how they play, which can allow for you know, your quarterback to get on the edge just a little bit and throw quickly, and just kind of cut the field in half for him and keep it as simple as I possibly could in certain situations.
Jeff and then Zach Berman.
Doug, your comments about Jalen seem kind of tempered, considering the performance. Is that because you have to take into account Carson?
I have to take into consideration the entire football team. Jalen played well. Obviously, we won the game, but there's a lot of good performances out there tonight, and again, as I said, defense stepped up, offensive line, some of our young receivers, and obviously Jalen. So it's a start, and we're excited to get the win.
Zach and then Daniel Gallen.
Hey, Doug, nobody runs on the Saints like that. I think it's been 56 games that they haven't allowed a 100-yard rusher. You guys had 2 today. What was the difference in the running game?
I don't know. I think some of it was we had a couple more designed runs with Jalen, and then just the style of run plan that we put together. Coach Stoutland does a great job in studying the front and what these guys do, and we kept it to where we could have more probably repeat plays and just execution, with the guys up front, and guys did a nice job there, and it was fun to watch them, out there play and get this win today.
Daniel and then Nick Fierro.
Hey, Doug, Miles called Jalen a natural leader out there today. How did you feel about how he commanded the huddle and, conducted himself even when things got a little tight there at the end?
Yeah, I would say that's pretty accurate.
Nick and then Ed Kratz.
Yeah, hi, Doug. Is Jalen your starter next week? And if so, what will the challenge be, now that more tape is out on him?
I'm gonna enjoy this one. I'm gonna go home and relax and be with my family tonight and enjoy this win and get ready for the week.
Ed and then Les.
Yeah, hey, Doug. That fourth down throw that Jalen made to Jeffrey, first of all, the decision to go for it there, what went into that thinking, and then what did you think of that play that he made?
That fourth down, was that the touchdown throw?
Yeah, at the 15-yard line there.
Oh, yeah. Just where we are in the field. I mean, early in the game, I believe it was 4th and 2 maybe, I think. But no, just an opportunity there. I mean, listen, you know me in situations like that, when it's favorable, I'm gonna go for it, and it was a great play by both those guys. Great catch, back shoulder throw. Alshon pull it in. Great play.
Les and Marcus Hayes.
Doug, did Jalen show you anything you weren't expecting to see from him tonight? Anything that surprised you at all? And I also wanted to ask, while I'm on here, if any of the injuries, if you have any idea if any of these guys is really seriously injured and isn't going to be able to go forward in these final 3 weeks.
Yeah, injury-wise, I'll get an update here tonight, first thing in the morning. I'll be able to update you tomorrow. Probably a little better on that. But we definitely had some guys that got banged up in this game, and hopefully we'll get them back this week. As far as Jalen goes, really nothing that he showed today he hasn't shown in practice or this week in practice or the season. His ability to obviously escape the pocket and throw on the run, and some of the QB runs and things like that we've seen early in this season and for the majority of the year. But nothing really out of the ordinary from him that we didn't expect.
Thank you.
Marcus and then John McMullen.
Hey, Doug. Your rookie quarterback in his first start just beat maybe the best team and the best defense in the league. Carson struggled all year. Do you wish you had done this sooner? Do you wish you had given Jalen a start sooner? And if not, why not?
Marcus, it took, everybody in uniform to win this game, not just one guy. And I'm going to repeat myself again that it takes a village to get this stuff done. And Jalen was a part of it, yes. But it took a team effort to win, honestly. Again, I talked about the defense earlier, the plays that they made, just time and time again. And again, Jalen was a part of it, and so it's great to get this win. And these guys are excited. It's been a while since we've won a football game, and so I'm happy for those guys in the locker room, for the coaches, the hard work that everybody put into this. But, we've still got 3 games left, and got a great opportunity. We got to go on the road here in the next couple of weeks and try to continue it again.
We have time for 2 more, so let's go John and then EJ Smith.
Hey, Doug. You mentioned some of the other guys, a different Jalen Mills. You lost Avante. Then Slay went down. Rodney McLeod basically at the same time. He had to move from safety to corner. His versatility and his leadership this season, what has he kind of meant to your team?
I'm sorry, we cut out a little bit. Who are you talking about?
Jalen Mills. Obviously, you lost 75% of your secondary. He had to move from safety to corner. What has his leadership it meant to your team this year?
It's meant a lot. He came into the season. We moved him back to safety. He was willing to go back there and fill a big role for us there, and has done a great job. But his versatility to be able to play corner today, and he's done that a couple times throughout the season. I think just it's a credit to him and his versatility, the way he approaches the week, the way he attacks the week. But great leadership, on and off the football field, and he was another one that helped us win this game today.
We'll wrap it up here with EJ.
Doug, you guys didn't give up a sack. This was just the second time all season that's happened. What went into that?
Great protection and the ability that Jalen has to escape the pocket. I think that was the two biggest things. We did a great job with their blitz packages. It was an extensive blitz package. Backs are involved, tight ends are involved, but I thought the offensive line, for the most part, blocked pretty well when we threw the ball down the field, or at least the drop back world, and then of course his ability to escape the pocket really helped out there.
Thanks, Coach.
I can take my mask off.
Hey, Jalen, thanks for taking the time. We'll get started here with Mike Sealski and Chris Franklin.
Skip me, please. Sorry.
Go ahead, Chris, and then Rob Motti.
Hey, Jalen, you were part of a couple big plays, including that 39-yard pass. What does it mean for you to be a bigger part of the offense today?
Just keep going back in the lab, progressing, taking the game plan and, honing my craft and making sure I do my job the best I can.
Rob and then Jeff Skaversky.
Hey, Jalen, what did you think of Jalen Hurts' performance out there, what he was able to do, his leadership in the huddle, and how it kind of opened things up for you guys?
I feel like he played well. Just got to keep building on it. He can't get too big-headed. Just got to keep going back in the lab, keep getting smarter, keep, taking the coaching, and we'll see where it goes from here.
Jeff and then Chris Murray.
Hey, Jalen, what do you think was different tonight in this game when you have Jalen Hurts as the quarterback? What felt different? What looked different to you?
Personally, it was just, just the flow of the game, just certain things that, like I said, we just got to control the controllables, and those are the things that look real different.
Chris Murray and then Bo Wolf.
Jalen, what did you think of the way? I mean, not Jalen. Jalen. What did you think of the way that Jalen Hurts passed the ball today? My bad. Way he passed the ball. How did he look in the passing game today?
Oh man, you guys saw he looked good. I mean, he's a fearless guy, just like myself. I mean, like I said, like the he's a winner. He knows how to play, and man, it's just I'm proud of him. I'm proud for him, and I'm happy to see where he goes.
Bo and then Martin Frank.
Jalen, you had the punt return touchdown last week, and then we didn't get to see you much back there today. Was that frustrating for you at all?
Nope. I just make the most of my chances when they come. I mean, y'all talked to Coach Philp, and he said, he's going to keep the rotation. If he feel like he want Greg back there, then I'm rocking with Greg, and I'm cheering for Greg. If he want me back there, then it's vice versa. I try not to get into the whole frustrated thing. Like, we won, so that's great enough for me.
Martin and then Ed Benkin.
Hey, Jalen. I think on your first or second possession, you had that deep pass that like you just missed with Jalen, and then like a few plays later, he came right back to you, and you were kind of like wide open and turned that into a 39-yard gain. What kind of like connection, like camaraderie do you feel like you have with Jalen Hurts, to be able to make those plays the last couple weeks?
I mean, like I said, y'all just see the way he plays. And, I just know, like, with all of our quarterbacks, it's a don't give up mentality. And, he carried that over. He's learned things from Carson. And, it's just the leadership, the way he plays and the way he keeps us up. And it's like, just because we go fourth, we go 3 and out on the first possession or something, if something may happen, the game is not over.
Ed and Kristen Rogers.
Hi, Jalen. You mentioned that leadership, and Miles Sanders just called Jalen Hurts a natural-born leader. What makes him so effective as a leader? What made him so effective out there today with his leadership?
I kind of think he knows how to balance certain things. He knows when to say when to say things and when to say get us up or tell us, like, for example, if we're sitting on the bench or we about to be up, the defense getting off the field. It's like he just knows certain ways, and he's a young player, and for him to be that natural born guy, it's like it's kind of amazing. That's why I say, like, I'm proud of him, and just seeing him do the things he did tonight, it shows he's special.
We have time for one more, so we'll end it here with Kristen.
Hey, Jalen, you talked about the flow of the game feeling a little bit different today. It seemed like you guys were able to settle in on the offense a little bit more early. Helps when you guys are playing with a lead. Why do you guys feel like that flow was different today?
Like I said, we just controlled the controllables, and we made the most of our opportunities collectively.
Thanks, Jalen.
All right, that's Jalen Rigger after today's win. And we also heard from Coach Doug Peterson, who was very measured in talking about this win, emphasizing that he does not know who's going to start at quarterback next week. He wants to enjoy today's win first, that it was a complete team win. Every person was needed, and that this win today is not about one guy. Of course, many questions were about Jalen Hurts and his starting debut, but this is about how resilient this team was. And he did have a smile there and say it was fun. It was fun to watch this game. It was fun to watch this team win, and just to see a complete game, offense, defense, special teams executing, and everybody pulling together to get this win going. Fran, I'm going to bring you in. Actually, no, I am not, because Duke Riley is at the podium. Let's take a listen after his performance today. An interception for the linebacker. Let's listen.
Hey, Duke, thanks for taking the time. We'll get started here with Mike Zielski and then Les Bowen.
Hey, Duke, when a team wins after losing a few games in a row, there's probably an assumption that you guys did something different during the week to prepare for the game to make the outcome different. Did you guys do that? Was there something different this week, or was it, same as it had ever been in practice?
Nah, I don't think we did anything different than we usually do. I think we come to practice to work every day, whether it's, defense, offense, special teams. Our thing is to win every day. And we're fortunate enough to come out with a win against a really good team. And I'm just thankful for it, man. Our guys fought hard, all phases, defense, special teams, and offense. We all made some big key plays. We left a lot of plays out there I think too, we could have done a lot better. So that's where practice comes in, and just keep grinding and keep continue to grow as a team.
Les and then Jeff McLean.
Hey, Duke, tell us about your pick. And also, it just seemed like guys kept going down the whole game on defense, especially the second half. How disconcerting was that? How hard was it to, pull everything together and make the stops you needed to make?
Sorry to cut you off. Honestly, man, I give all credit to Jim Schwartz on that, on my interception. He called a great call. He put me in the right position to be in that spot for the play. So as soon as I caught the ball, I ran the sideline, I gave it to him. And he put in at practice. He always talks about next man up. Everyone has to be ready. He puts everyone in position. He does a really good job of keeping the young guys ready. That's why some of the guys came in and made some plays. So like I said, I give all the credit to Jim. I think he's doing a really good job with defense. And like I said, that interception was the call that he picked, So and Jay Mills had good pressure on the quarterback. So I give my shout out to Mills, and everybody's just doing their job, and it just happens like that sometimes. I was just fortunate enough that it was me.
Thank you,
Jeff, and then Ed Kratz.
Al, you can skip me.
Go ahead, Ed, and then Mike K.
Yeah, hey, Duke. That ball, I think, was deflected, was it not? The interception, did that get hit by somebody, one of your teammates?
Yeah, that's when I think when Jay Mills was pressuring him, I think he I don't know how it happened. I just know I was in the right spot at the right time, and I just looked up and I saw a tip ball, and I just called it. I wish I would have scored, though, to be honest with you. I got to be a better athlete.
Yeah. Sorry, I just wanted to follow up too. I mean, you guys had the lead at halftime, first time I think since week 4 that you had a halftime lead. How does that, what does that do to the mentality of the team in the locker room and coming out to start the second half when you have a lead?
I mean, it's good. Either way, lead, no lead, we gonna come out the same way regardless. I think this team, we came out and they scored 2 touchdowns. That's something that we can't allow as a defense either. You know what I'm saying? So we have to be better with that. We always critical ourselves. We won the game. At the end of the day, that's the main thing. The main goal is to win. But we don't want to give up 2 touchdowns coming out of halftime like that as a defense. We have to make those corrections, and we will.
We have time for 2 more, so we'll go Mike K and then Bob Grotz.
Duke, you're an emotional leader and a captain of this team. What was the reaction like on the sideline when you came back after that interception, and how did your teammates react, and what did that mean to you?
Everyone was excited for me, especially, I'm from New Orleans. That happened against New Orleans, and honestly, I felt it before the game. I talked about it with my family. I felt like it was going to happen just because I was just, I don't know, it's just sometimes you just feel like you're going to make a play. Well, I always feel like I'm going to make a play, but, sometimes luck's just on your side. But they were all excited. My team, I love everybody on the team. Everybody on the team loves me. That's the thing. The more energy we can create like that, the more explosive plays, the more turnovers we can get for the offense, the more for this team, it just brings everybody together, that's the main thing. So it was just really good for me to do that at the right time, and it was something that the team needed.
We'll take one more here with Bob.
Hey, Duke, that onside kick at the end of the game, how did Jalen get that ball? You were right there. How did that happen?
It's funny, thank God Jalen was right there. So in my head, I'm just looking for the ball. I'm like, I see a lot of people, but the ball didn't go 10 yards, so we didn't have to touch it. But I think one of our guys tried to touch it, and then one of their guys kicked it. So I just saw it and I dove on it. And when I dove, I just reached out with my arms and I pulled it closer to me, and Jalen landed on top of my arms. So it's kind of like we both had it, and I was just telling him the whole time, just we ain't letting go. I don't even care if we stay here to 12 o'clock at night. We're not letting this ball go. You know what I'm saying? We wanted to come up with the win, and we did, and I was excited for, Mills and all of us,
Thanks, Duke.
Appreciate y'all. Thank you.
Hey, Josh, thanks for taking the time. We'll get started here with Bo Wolf and then Martin Frank.
Hey, Josh. Doug had said that, he thinks that the team itself got a bit of a spark from Jalen Hurts getting the start. Not that it was just him, but did you feel like there was that spark? And then if you don't mind also taking us through your strip sack.
Yeah, I feed off of everybody. So if offense making a good play or defense making a good play, that's where the energy comes from. It's not just one player; it's at pretty much everybody. But yeah, obviously it gave me a big spark and made me want to play a lot harder.
We'll go Martin and then John McMullen.
Hey, Josh. Can you just kind of, the defense in general? You lost 3 guys in the defensive backfield. I think Derek Barnett went out for a little bit and Malik Jackson left. Just kind of how you were able to hold it together on defense. The Saints obviously, got back into the game and everything, yet you guys were able to hold them off. How'd you do it?
Pretty much we just have a next man up mentality. That's how it's always been around here. So, if anybody goes down, we already know next person up. We the way we roll groups anyways on the D line is like we can all get production, and that's pretty much it. Same next man up mentality.
We'll go John and then Rob Maaddi.
Hey, Josh. Jim you guys have been pretty good statistically throughout the year, but haven't been a ton of turnovers, and Jim has kind of been stressing that a little bit recently. Did you see an opportunity with a quarterback like Taysom that maybe tries to extend the play and hold on to the ball a little bit longer? Do you think you guys could get to him at a certain point?
Yeah, some of the plays, we noticed he was holding the ball, and we figured, it was going to be a lot of boot and stuff like that, so we would have opportunities. And I'll be honest, shoot, when he did that sprint out, I was like, damn, I might not make it. But something in me just made me keep running. And he held on to the ball, and pretty much I saw opportunity to strip the ball out. Thought I was going to get the recovery, but good thing my boy was there. But yeah.
Rob and then Dave Zangaro.
Obviously played your best all-around game of the season, start to finish, whole 4 quarters. When you as a defensive player and other guys on the defense see Carson Wentz can get benched, is there any conversation among yourselves like, hey, we could be next, like we all have to step up our play?
Shit. I don't know how to answer that. No, we don't really think about getting, we just go out there and try to play our best ball. Me personally, I don't think about, getting benched or, I'm just going to end it right there. I'm not sure. I don't think about that stuff. I'm pretty sure no one else does either.
We'll go Dave Zangaro and then David Murphy.
Hey, Josh, in a game like that where pretty much the whole secondary gets injured, as a defensive line, do you kind of put it on yourselves to get a little more pressure and kind of take over the game a little bit more?
We put it on ourselves anyways. Before every game, throughout the week, we always say to ourselves, we're going to be the engine, and everybody's going to feed off of us, and it never changes. We always come into the game knowing if we do well, we'll always have a shot in any game, no matter what. So that's the approach we take.
David Murphy and then Ed Kratz.
Hey, Josh, where were you on the onside kick? And do you have any idea what went on there at the bottom of the pile?
I was inside getting my shoulder checked out. I was not out there.
Did you talk to anybody about what went on during that play? Have you heard?
Oh, I didn't know. All I saw was that they gave us the ball, and that's all I cared about. I wasn't even out there. I haven't spoken to anybody about it either.
And then what do you think when all the injuries are mounting up during the game? Is that something you're cognizant of? It just seems like every 5 minutes there's a guy going off, yourself included. When you're out there playing, is that something you're even conscious of?
No, not really. I'm not. When I play, you just got to play fast. You can't be thinking about injury and stuff like that. You might see guys going down, and like I said, next man up. We got it done. I guess that's all that matters. But no, I don't think about, I'm going to be the next guy down. But
We have time for one more, so we'll wrap it up here with Ed.
Yeah, hey Josh, how is the shoulder? Number one, and number two, you had 2 sacks tonight. One of them, you really bull rushed Teron Armstead there. Is that the kind of strength move that you had to kind of develop over your last couple of years, or could you have done that in 2018? That kind of bull rush.
It wasn't really a big part of my game. You know, I'm pretty sure I could have done it before, but that was just one of those reps where I was like, I got to change it up. I've been speeding the edge so much, but yeah, I needed to do something, and I'm pretty sure it's something that could have been a part of my game. Who knows? I might throw it in there.
How's the shoulder?
Everything's good. Yeah, I shouldn't miss any time.
Thanks for taking the time, Josh.
No problem. You have a good one.
All right, that's Eagles defensive lineman Josh Sweat after a 2-sack performance tonight against the Saints, including a game-changing strip sack that was recovered, of course, by his teammate Javon Hargrave, and giving the Eagles back the ball in very exciting fashion there. We also got to hear from Duke Riley, and possibly my favorite story of the night. He's talking about that onside kick that got absolutely wild where, look, it looked like the Saints had a great chance of recovering it. Duke Riley was talking about being at the bottom of that pile because we couldn't really see it on TV. He grabs the ball. He's showing us what he did, and he said Jalen Mills kind of came on top of it, and he said, look, we'll stay here till 12 o'clock at night if we have to. And with that, we are now about to hear from Jalen Hurts after his first NFL victory as a starting quarterback. Let's listen.
Hey, Jalen, thanks for taking the time. We'll get started here with Jeff McLean and then Mike Kay.
Jalen, how would you describe your first career NFL start, and what exactly were you able to do? Why were you able to get so many yards on the ground?
Well, I think first and foremost, it's a great team win. Everybody played together, believed in one another, and we put an emphasis on that this week. Playing together, playing as one, bringing energy and creating our own energy, moving with urgency, and just going out there and believing in one another. And I'm happy this group got it done today. I'm happy.
We'll go Mike Kay and then Zach Berman.
Hey, Jalen, can you take us through the touchdown throw to Alshon?
Yeah, it was a look where I believe we had cover zero, a man-to-man look, and had a free guy off the edge, and I knew I had to get the ball out fast, and just kind of wanted to keep the aggressiveness there, and took that shot to Alshon, hit him on his back shoulder, and he made a great play.
Did he say anything to you after?
Good stuff.
Zach and then Jeff Skaversky.
Hey, Jalen, how did you think your legs changed the game and changed the offense?
I just think, going out there and maybe extending it sometimes always helps. I think up front we did a great job to allow some of those things to happen. And one thing when I look back on this game, a lot of money on the table for us, a lot of money on the table we left out there. So we're very excited. We're happy we got a W today against a really good team. But we're going to go back to work. We got a 24-hour rule on this thing, and we clearly understand that. So a lot to work on, a lot to build on, and I'm excited to go practice, honestly. Go back and get ready for the next game.
Jeff Skaversky and then Les Bowen.
Jalen, what are your expectations for the next game? I mean, in your mind, are you the starter here for that game against the Cardinals after what you did today?
I think going into next week, I just want to continue to impact the guys around me. Just work hard every day. I always try and encourage somebody to bring somebody with them. And I just want to continue to get better at doing my job. I have a lot I can learn from this game, and as well as us as a team. So just continuing to work, keeping that hunger, and building on this thing this week.
I imagine you were nervous going into taking the field for the first time as a starter, huh?
I mean, it was a new experience for me for sure. My first NFL start out there. But I'm excited that I was able to do it with this group of guys, with this team. So we're ready to get back to work. Ready to get back to work and fix the things we need to fix.
Les and Chris Franklin.
Hey, Jalen, do you think you changed the tone of the offense today at all? And what were your interactions like with Carson Wentz on the sideline? Did he talk to you a lot? Did he talk about the defense? Did he just say, way to go? What was that like?
Yeah, he had a few tips for me. A few little things kind of pointing out here and there. Certain looks, seeing the space of the defense and stuff. So he was very helpful this week. As far as the team, the guys that just told me to be you. Go out there and BJ Hurts. And everything else will take care of itself. And we all had each other's back. That's the beauty about all of this. We had each other's back going to battle out there against a really good football team, and we have so much. We had so much money we left on the table. So moving forward, we just want to continue to build, learn from our mistakes, and hopefully progress.
Chris Franklin and Bo Wolf.
It was your first start as a quarterback for Eagles, and you guys went for it on 4 times on 4th down. What does it mean to have the confidence of Coach Peterson that you guys were able to go for it so many times, especially on that first drive you guys had?
That's trust in his 11 on the field. That's belief in all 11 guys on the field, and that's how we're gonna play it. We're gonna play it that way. Every time we touch the field, at least my mindset is to execute what's called. And I'll say it again. I've said it. A lot to learn from, and a lot to build on. So execution is everything. Always will be.
Bo and then Jamie.
Jalen, you said it was a new experience. What were some of the things that you didn't expect, and how did it compare to the big games you played in college?
When I say new experience, I mean first NFL start. First time. Starting in the NFL. It's a different game, but I think we're all happy here. We're all excited, and we're all excited. More importantly, excited to get back to work. That's what I'm ready to do. I'm ready to go get some work in.
Jamie and then Martin Frank.
Jalen, I'm sure you dreamt of today your entire life, your first NFL start, and you end up going out there and beating the #1 defense in the NFL. Can you just describe how it felt?
Yeah, it felt good. It felt good. Always a great feeling to get a W. All week we talked about going out there and executing, dominating our box, and coming out of halftime, even not looking at the scoreboard, trying to. I've said it a lot. Just having a standard of play. We got this win, but is it up to our standard of play? No. So that's why I say we have so much to build on, and so much more to work for. So just got to continue to build, continue to learn. Every game is an opportunity to learn, and we need to use it to our advantage moving forward.
We have time for 2 more, so we'll go Martin Frank and John Clark.
Hey, Jalen.
Calling me.
Are you all right? Hey,
Coach calling me.
On the 82-yard run that Miles had, seemed like, read option type of play. Like, what made that work so well, and why do you think you guys can be, like, really effective with that, like, going forward after, rest of the season?
The big guys up front blocked their tail off our game. I think outside had a really impactful block on the outside. It's all 11 playing as one. All 11 doing their job and dominating their box, and doing what they're coached to do. We have confidence that if all 11 can do their job on every play, it should be a positive play. So that ended up being an explosive run and definitely a game changer.
John.
Hey, Jalen. I noticed pregame, it looked like Doug kind of had you and some of the offensive guys go to the tunnel for when the rest of the team came out. Was that kind of planned as far as emphasis on team this week?
Yes, sir. We talked about energy. We talked about urgency. We talked about a lot of enthusiasm, and being there for your brother. We control what we can control. We go out there and try to control the controllables, and Go out there and play ball, have fun, and trust in one another. And that's what we did today. A lot of grit, a lot of perseverance, and we were there for one another. So we got to continue this thing rolling.
Thanks for taking the time, Jalen.
Thank you. Have a good one.
All right, that's Eagles quarterback Jalen Hurts after his starting debut in the NFL after he beat the New Orleans Saints in the #1 defense. And I think he said Coach Riley was calling him. That would be his college coach there, I'm sure, calling to congratulate him. That's really awesome to see. All right, we are going to take a quick break here. On the other side, we've got the Ricoh Review, the nominees for the Toyota Player of the Week, and the Jameson Nightcap. Stay with us. Well, until tonight, the Saints hadn't allowed a 100-yard rusher in 55 games. They allowed 2 tonight to the Eagles, one of them being Miles Sanders after a 115-yard performance and 2 touchdowns. One of those touchdowns, 82 yards to the house. That is the subject of tonight's Ricoh Review, presented by Ricoh and Fran Duffy. Let's take a look.
All right, so the Eagles get the ball backed up in their own end zone, and they start on the 4-yard line. They move their way up to the 18, and now we see this 82-yard run, a touchdown by Miles Sanders, and let's see how this came to be. Basically, what you're going to get is a basic zone read between both Sanders and Jalen Hurts here in the backfield, and we're going to let the snap happen and show you exactly what Jalen Hurts is looking at here. It appears that he's reading the end man on the line of scrimmage. That would be the linebacker, Demario Davis. All right, so if Davis had sprinted down here, he's probably going to throw the bubble here to the slot receiver. But since he kind of stays put, he's going to hand this ball off and play to the numbers. Now, what you see here is the linebacker, Quan Alexander. He goes into this gap. There's nobody in this gap right here. Now, I don't know if they have the corner, Janoris Jenkins, responsible for this area, or if this is just a misfit from the linebacker as he tries to go backdoor to make this play. But either way, you can see there's nobody in this gap. Nice job by Isaac Sayamalo on the point of attack. He's going to wash his man, David Onyemata, out of the screen. You get a good double team here on the nose tackle. As I said, the linebacker, Quan Alexander, he steps out. There's a lot of green grass out here with one one-on-one block. Zach Ertz up on the corner, Janoris Jenkins. All that means is you're going to have Miles Sanders one-on-one with the former Eagle, Malcolm Jenkins, in the hole, and Miles Sanders does the rest here as he's going to make Malcolm miss, throw the stiff arm there, and run the rest of the way. 82 yards, an awesome touchdown run there at the end of the half for Miles Sanders. Eagles extend their lead to 17-0. That is the score that they go up into the locker room with. All great stuff. Good execution there on the RPO by the Eagles offense.
Chance to vote for the Toyota Player of the Week. Go to PhiladelphiaEagles.com/Toyota Player of the Week to cast your vote and get a chance at a brand new Toyota. This week's nominees: Jalen Hurts, Miles Sanders, and Josh Sweat. Of course, we'll start with Jalen Hurts, the rookie, in his starting debut, passing for 167 yards and a touchdown and getting it done on the ground with his legs. 18 carries, 106 yards, electric in multiple ways. And of course, who could forget this electric run? Miles Sanders, 82 yards to the house on this one, 14 carries for 115 yards, 2 touchdowns in today's win. There's touchdown number 2. And then Josh Sweat, what a performance here from the Eagles defensive lineman. 2 sacks, including this strip sack that changed the game, giving the Eagles offense back the ball. He also had 3 solo tackles, including 1 for a loss in this one. All right, time to cast our votes here on the postgame show. And oh my goodness, I don't even know. You guys, I'm always prepared, and I don't even know who I'm going to pick right now because we had 3 great performances. Look, I have to go with Jalen Hurts, 100 yards on the ground, 167 yards passing and a touchdown against the league's #1 defense, the starting quarterback. He's going to get my vote. Ike, are you going to pick Josh Sweat?
No, I'm not going to go Josh Sweat this week, Amy. I'm going to go with an offensive guy. And it's tough to beat out Miles Sanders and the performance that he had today, the explosive run, 80-plus yard touchdown, 2 touchdowns on the day for Booby Miles. Welcome back to the lineup. You look fantastic today. But, Amy, I got to agree with you. Jalen Hurts has to be the Toyota Ricoh player of the game for the simple fact he's in his first start as a rookie. And quite frankly, he didn't do anything to hurt this team today. And I mean that in a pundit way because at the quarterback position, turning over the football has really plagued this team throughout the season. So for Jalen Hurts in his first start, I know he had to fumble late in the game, but no critical turnovers throughout the course of this game. I got to give him the nod. Nice job, young man, in your first start.
Well, and look, Miles Sanders said earlier this week how excited he was that Jalen Hurts was so electric with his legs. He felt like that was going to open some things up for him. It might have been a part of my key to the game, the two of them kind of having a big game on the ground there. What about you, Fran? Who's going to get your vote for the Toyota Player of the Week?
I could have done without the fumble late in the game to make it a little bit closer, but I will go with you guys. I think it's got to be Jalen Hurts. I think when you look at the way that he was able to execute throughout the course of the game, both in the run game and in the passing game, he was very efficient. I think, we looked at the completion percentage. It was right around 56, 57%. That number would be higher if you take those throwaways out, right? If you kind of adjust that to take the throws that he actually intended for receivers. I thought he did a nice job of getting the ball to the intended target. He was decisive, and even when the throw wasn't there, he was able to run away from pressure and create plays with his legs. So I think when you factor all of it in, I think you got to give it to Jalen Hurts in this game.
Well, like you talk about that fumble, that onside kick, they had to scare me, Fran. They had to scare us. They always have to scare us, but it's so nice to be sitting on the other side of a W. And let's see if they can carry that momentum forward into next week. And speaking of next week, it's time for the Jameson Nightcap as we look ahead to next week's opponent. It's the Arizona Cardinals. The Eagles are headed west. The Cardinals 7-6, third in the NFC West, coming off of a pretty dominant performance today against the New York Giants, 26-7 victory. They lead the series overall, though that's pretty close, 57-56. The last time these teams played, though, the Eagles did get the victory, 34-7. That was in October of 2017. The Cardinals snapping a 3-game losing streak today against the New York Giants. Ike, what do you think about this opponent? Kyler Murray, an electric quarterback, but it does seem like over the last few weeks until today's win, teams have started to figure out a little bit what this offense does with Murray and be able to game plan for them.
Yeah, I really like this upcoming opponent for the Eagles. Arizona is a little bit of a Jekyll and Hyde team. You sort of know what you're going to get from an offensive standpoint, but at the same time, this plays right into the strength of what the Eagles do defensively. If their defensive line can corral Kyler Murray and not let him hurt them with his legs, I think this can be an exciting, close football game. Whether it's Jalen Hurts making his second start at the quarterback position or Carson Wentz is back in there as a starting quarterback, I expect the Eagles offense to be able to put some points on the board against this Arizona Cardinal defense. I like this game. I like the Eagles' chances next week, albeit on the road. Probably a high-scoring game. I like the Eagles' chances in this one.
Yeah, I think at first look, I think it could be a really fun matchup. I think the Cardinals offense is really interesting with Kyler Murray and Cliff Kingsbury there. Fran, you mentioned it earlier, though, on the other side on the defense, Hassan Reddick, a 5-sack performance today. What kind of challenge is this defense going to be?
Yeah, I mean, they are fast. They fly around. They've got a bunch of guys on that defense that are very versatile, and it'll be interesting to see ultimately how they deploy them in this game against the Eagles' offense and what they were able to do on the run in the run game here today. Look, I've done a lot of work studying this team on both sides of the football already. They've got an explosive element for sure. When you look at Kyler Murray and DeAndre Hopkins, those guys are in simpatico, and when they are going, it's tough to be able to keep them stopped. So the injuries to the Eagles secondary, certainly something to monitor this week in practice as we get through and prepare for next week.
Yeah, that will be something to watch. Next week, that game at 4:05 p.m. 4:05 p.m. Eastern. Of course, we will be back here with the kickoff show 45 minutes before kickoff. As always, that's going to be 3:20 Eastern right here on the Eagles app, PhiladelphiaEagles.com, and our social channels. And then, of course, after that one, we'll be back again with the postgame show presented by Ricoh. Exactly what you're watching right here. You know the drill. Of course, the Eagles got the victory tonight, so you can watch it again Tuesday night, 7 p.m. NBC Sports Philadelphia. Until then, we are going to have a great week preparing the 24-hour rule. We enjoy this victory, and we're going to have a great week preparing for the Arizona Cardinals. Stay here at PhiladelphiaEagles.com for everything leading up to that. And until then, have a great week, everyone. We will see you next week.